Hey everyone, my name is Wayne Clemens. I'm a notary here in Southern California, the Coachella Valley to be specific. I've been a notary for 9 years, going on my third commission this year, 2013. And I want to take a little time out today to discuss how I handle my loan signings. I get a lot of emails, phone calls, responses to the different posts that I subscribe to for the message boards, things like that. A lot of questions on how I perform my signings, like I said, and how I get to do them so quick and how I can book so many throughout the day and do this as my full-time career, full-time profession, whatever you want to call it, and be able to support my two twin boys as a single father. So what I want to talk to you today about is just some of my tips and tricks that I have. I'm also going to go through a quick loan signing. I have a couple loan docs. I have a loan doc set here for a signing that I'm going to be doing tomorrow, and I'm just going to act like you're the customer. We'll knock through it. You'll see how I handle it. You're more than welcome to take away some of the methods that I use. If you don't like it, by all means, continue on with however you perform your signings. But it's the way I do it. I have never had any complaints, problems, or questions regarding the way I handle my signings. I get constant positive feedback from my customers as well as my clients, my title companies that I work for, etc. So a couple things. First thing, just real quick, FedEx packs. Get these instead of the cardboard envelopes. You can stack a whole lot more of these in your supply closet at home, and they're a little more durable than those cardboard envelopes. And again, these are free through FedEx.com, and you can also use them if you're shipping UPS. UPS will take FedEx envelopes. Do it all day long, every day, 365 days a year. Big one for the customer copies, or I'm sorry, for the ones that we're actually signing, the ones that are going back to the title company. Small pack for the customer copies. Print the customer copies on 8.5 by 11 only. Don't waste your money with the legal papers going to the customer. Shrink everything down to 8.5 by 11. It'll save you money because we all know that legal paper is almost twice as expensive. A case of legal paper is about $60 over at Staples, whereas a case of paper, whenever you find it on sale for $24-25, buy about 3 or 4 boxes and that'll last you at least 2 months. I go through about a case and a half every month. So again, small pack for the customer copies, the ones that they're keeping. And you can also get these sticker labels for addressing the address that goes to the title company. So when you get the UPS or FedEx label from the title company, or if you need to go to FedEx.com to create your own label, print it on here, peels apart, take it off, put it on the envelope, and it's good to go. A lot cleaner, a lot more professional than using the little envelopes and folding the paper, sticking it in there. I don't know. I like to do everything clean, professional, to the point. Some things to work with in the field. Got to have a BlackBerry. Can't handle email management without a BlackBerry. Best phone out there for handling all the emails that we get on a daily basis, whether it's new order notifications, email notifications stating that your loan docs are available. You got the keypad. Using these touchscreen things, waste of time. Don't bother with it. Full keyboard right there. Can't beat it. Got to have a second phone. If one phone rings and you're busy, forward it to the other phone. That way you have 2 phones going. Or if you miss a phone call with one phone because you're in bad reception, forwards over to the other. And if you're on the phone with a customer, you can always look something up on the email with the other phone. Last thing is a mobile broadband card. Got to have it for your e-signings. Also, if you're out in the field and you get loan docs late, you can print with the printer that's in your car with an AC or with a DC to AC power converter, which I have in my car. I have full 110 volt capabilities in my car, so I can power up my laptop. I can charge any devices that I need to. I can run my laser printer, which is a single tray in my car, which has a fold down front tray for the legal paper. Set your printer to recognize that the front fold down tray is legal, and for the larger tray, let it know that it's a standard 8.5 by 11, so that you can automatically, when you're in Adobe, it will sort those pages out for you automatically, so you don't have to waste time deciphering which pages were legal, which pages were letter, and trying to print it that way. That's basically all you need to get out into the field. Some envelopes, your phones, tons of blue pens. Gotta have blue. Stick with the same pen all the time. I use the same Bic pens. That way if a document ever comes back to me, I can look at it and say, you know, I don't use that kind of pen. I use this kind of pen. I know what the pen writes with. I've been using these pens for, I think, about 4 years. So I know exactly how they write. I know what they look like. Just a little something to keep yourself safe. So let's get into the signing. The book that I use is from the Notary Rotary, notaryrotary.com. The reason that I like this book here is because you don't have to write down every single document and have the customer sign your book 8 or 10 times depending upon how many pages you're having notarized. The nice feature, I know you guys can't see this, but if you go to notaryrotary.com, say that 3 times fast, notaryrotary.com, check them out on the web. This book right here, it has all the different forms that we're going to be notarizing out in the field. Compliance agreement, correction agreement, the deed of trust, the quitclaim deed, grant deed, E&O, occupancy affidavit, owner's affidavit, limited power of attorney, proof of ID, signature name affidavit, survey affidavit. If you do things outside of the loan docs like I do, I have contracts with several major insurance companies here in Southern California, so I go out to their patient homes and handle their advanced healthcare directive and power of attorney signings. Boxes right there for advanced healthcare directive, power of attorney, limited, durable, whatever document you're notarizing. Things for trusts, wills. We don't notarize wills in the state of California unless it's from out of state. Vehicle transfer title. If you're in California, close to the Arizona border, we get a lot of Arizona folks who are selling vehicles in this state. They need to have that transfer title notarized here in California if they're out in this area. So the first thing I'm going to do, walk into the customer's home, greet them, friendly, smile, handshake, all that good stuff. You know customer service. If you don't know customer service, step out of the business. You're not in the right business. You need to be customer service friendly. I'm very direct and to the point, but I'm friendly at the same time. And I make my customers feel welcome and thoroughly satisfied at the end of their signing. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to ask for their ID, verify it, hold it up to the light, check the hologram. For in California and you have the new ID, you know what to look for. If you hold it up to the light, you know what you'll see. If you don't know what certain image you'll see, you may want to pick up a book and look for some of those features, some of those security features on that driver's license. And if you still can't figure it out, send me an email and I'll explain it to you. Alright, so I'm going to get their ID real quick while I'm looking at the ID, while I'm copying that information down. I'm going to take a quick look at the documents, make sure the name matches the document. Because if the names don't match, we got problems. And then we're going to need to make a few phone calls and say, hey, I've got Daniel Davis in front of me on his ID. Daniel Davis is my best friend, so I can use his name. That's who I'm going to be using throughout all these documents. I'll use his name to protect the innocent on the documents here. For example, if we have Daniel Davis on the ID and we have Dan Davis on the documents, we can't notarize Dan Davis. We can only notarize Daniel Davis because that's who the individual is that we have on the ID itself. So we have to go by what's on the ID because remember, we can't use personal knowledge in the state of California anymore. So make sure those two names are correct. Writing the name, everything that's on the ID, writing that down here in the book. Driver's license number, expiration date, date of issue, and date of birth, all in the journal. That way we have all that information for the forms that we need to fill out next. Get that all taken care of, hand it over to them. Signature right there for me, sir. Perfect. Right thumbprint is all I need from you. Give that a good squeeze. And right there for me, straight down and up. Excellent, thank you. Set that aside. I'm ready to go. Sir, this is your copy of all the documents that we're going to be signing today. Looks a little bit smaller because it's printed front to back, and it's also on regular people paper size, none of the long stuff, so it's easier to file in your filing cabinet. You don't have to fold those long pages over. Okay, so this is your copy that you're going to be keeping. All right, we'll set that out of the way. No customer here, so there it goes. But they'll get it tomorrow. All right, so the first thing up is your settlement statement. It talks about all the fees and charges that were involved with the closing of the loan. It does show that you owe $994.45, and I do see your certified check right there. I'll be taking that once we're done here. The only thing you need to do is sign this page right here, just as your name is indicated, Daniel Davis. Signature right there for me. And the subsequent pages here, if they ask, shows more detailed fees and charges that were involved with the closing of the loan. And again, sir, keep in mind you are receiving copies of all these documents here. And since this is your primary residence, you do have a full 3 business days to review all these documents. And if you're not satisfied with any of the terms, numbers, or anything that you see here, you do have the right to cancel. And I'll be discussing that form here with you in a little bit once we come up to it. Okay? Perfect. Thank you for signing that. And normally, the Diet Cherry Coke is not at the signing table, but it is for me. Gotta have Diet Cherry Coke. I'm going to be thumbing through a lot of pages that don't require signatures. Be assured they're in your pack over there, okay? They just don't need signatures from you. They really don't involve us at this point. But again, if you want to read them, they're in your pack right there. This one here, all I need is a signature and date right there. Simply states that you have received a copy of your settlement statement as well as reviewing the document. While he's doing that, I see that needs a stamp. Excellent, that's all done. And for those of you who do the unfortunate First American signings where you need to have that notarial, whatever you want to call it, notarial evidence form, there it is right there. We can do that later after we're done with the signing. Alright, so these few forms right here, it looks like your loan amount is $173,155. You are going for 30 years. It is a fixed rate. You are having your impounds added in for your your impounds are for your property taxes and homeowners insurance. You are at a rate of 4.375, and there is no prepayment penalty as indicated here. And the only thing I need right there is a signature and put the date right there for me. And as you notice, I put all the pages out in front of the customer in case they want to take a look. They're more than welcome to do that. Perfect. He's done signing that. I see he did the date and the sign. I'm double checking as I'm taking it back. More pages that don't involve us here. Borrower identification certification form. We can do that later once we leave the signing and get back to our office or when we're at lunch, wherever we want to do. This form right here, sir, simply states that you are the one who applied for the loan on your own behalf, and all the information that you provided to the bank regarding financial employment information is still true and correct. Signature and date down at the bottom. And as you notice, as he's signing, I'm getting the next stack of documents ready to go. Excellent. Thank you. This right here is your loan application that was done at the start of the loan. First signature is right there on that page. Excellent. And I just thumb through that like that in case he sees anything that catches his eye. Signature and date right there for me, please. Perfect. And you notice I'm watching him sign hypothetically. And last page, signature and date down at the bottom. Perfect. Alright, this one up here is the note on the property. It's basically your promise to repay back the loan. Loan amount $173,155, interest rate of 4.375, and your first payment is June 1st of this year. Generally you do skip a payment, but I can't tell you that that's how it will be in your specific circumstance. You'll want to check with your lender and your current bank to see if you are skipping a payment. Again, first payment due June 1st, going until May 1st, 2043, so it looks like you are going with a 30-year term. Payment address right there. Payment amount $864.54. That's principal and interest only. That's minus your taxes and insurances if you're having those impounded in. And if you are, we'll come to the form a little bit later that shows us that. Only thing I need from you right there is a signature there. Normally I wouldn't take a drink, but I'm talking a lot, so I'm taking a drink. Perfect. Thank you. And again, sir, if you do have any questions throughout this, please feel free to ask me. Again, these are forms that do not pertain to us. They're mainly for the closing agent who works for the title company. But again, they are in your packet of information. Alright, this one here talks about per day interest and allowing the lender to go ahead and disperse and fund the loan in the least amount of time so you don't continue to pay interest on your old loan. Signature and date right there. Perfect. This one here tells you that if an appraisal was done, you do have the right to receive a copy of it. You'll just need to contact the lender as indicated there. Excellent, thank you. Actually, 3 pages here. This one here again states that you are the one who applied for the loan on your own behalf. Nobody forced you or coerced you to do the loan. And you authorize the bank to work with its third-party affiliates to assist with the closing of the loan. Signature and date on that page. Excellent, thank you. And this right here is the deed on the property. It's putting the property in your name, a single man. Property address listed right there. There's the lender who is in the first lien position in case you stop paying on the loan. They are rightfully in the first lien position. You're going to initial on the bottom of all 15 pages right there. Signature on the very last page. While he's doing that, I'm going to knock out my form here. Excellent, all done with that. And this is actually the last page here, just my notary certificate stating that you are the one who personally appeared in front of me. Just an initial down on the bottom of that page there. While he's initialing that, do a quick thumb through, make sure all of the initials are on there. And signature looks good. Down, and that one is initial. Alright, so this here is your right to cancel document. Basically, like I said earlier, you do have 3 days to review all the documents, and if you don't see something that you like, you're more than welcome to cancel. Stating right here, the date of the transaction today is March 26, 2013. You have until no later than midnight of March 29th, 2013 if you wish to cancel. If you wish to cancel for any reason, follow these instructions right here. You're going to sign and date on this very bottom line on all pages here, acknowledging that you're aware of the dates, as well as receiving 2 copies of this document, which are in your pack of papers that you received today. I'll go ahead and move forward, because I believe my battery is running a little bit low over there. Alright. This right here shows, since you are electing to have an impound account created for your property taxes and insurance, this here shows the amount going in each month, as well as the starting balance, and a running balance after payments have been made for your homeowner's insurance and property taxes. Signature and date down at the bottom there. Perfect, thank you. This one right here states that you currently occupy the subject property. You're going to sign there. And there's a spot for an initial down at the bottom. And this one does have a stamp. We'll go ahead and stamp that, do our notary information there. But again, I'm going to move a little bit quicker because I know the battery on the camera is dying. 2 pages that don't need anything here. This one right here states, this one actually is authorizing the lender, or authorizing the county to send the tax bill directly to the lender so they can pay it since you are having that impound account created. Signature and date down at the bottom there for me. Perfect. Just a signature on that bottom line right there simply states that you have received a copy of all the documents that I provided to you today. Great. This one here states if there's any errors or corrections with any of the documents that need to be corrected, you agree to work with the bank within 30 days to correct any of those errors. Again, just a signature and a date down at the bottom. Great. This here is a temporary power of attorney authorizing the bank to correct any typographical errors that may appear on any of the documents. If they spelled your name incorrect or typed the wrong address on some of the documents, you're authorizing them to go ahead and correct that on your behalf. Perfect, thank you. So what I need right here is just one signature, and that simply states that that is your true and correct signature as you've signed the documents today. And if you notice down here, Daniel, you also have Dan Davis. You go by Dan as well. Perfect. If you could just sign Dan Davis on that line for me. Excellent. Notary, this is a jurat, so what do we need to ask them? Do you swear or affirm that the information within this document is true and correct to the best of your belief? Yes. Excellent. Thank you. Four copies exactly the same. They all need to be signed. This one here is just a breakdown of some of the amounts that were included in the financing of the loan, signature and date, and initials on the bottom of all four copies. Great. And this here is your W-9, so you get your tax statement back at the beginning of the year for tax purposes. Make sure that number there is correct, their social security number. Had an instance, I've asked that question 8 years that I've been doing this. Last week, first time social security number was wrong. It was wrong on the application, wrong on the W-9, wrong on the 4506. Totally wrong social security number, somebody else's social. 8 years, never had a problem with that. Sign and date right there for me on that page. And the rest of the pages are just instructions to how to fill out this form if it wasn't already filled out for you. And this one here states that if you receive the original tax bill from the county that says you need to pay it, send it to this address here and the bank will pay it on your behalf since they already have that impound account created for you to pay those property taxes. Signature and date. Excellent. This here is an authorization for the bank to have copies of your 2010 as well as 2011 tax returns, signature and date on the bottom. Oh, you already filled that out? Yes, they just like to have an extra copy in the closing packet. Oh, they already have your tax returns? Yes, this is just authorization so they can actually physically have them in case they get questioned by the IRS. They have this document here where you gave them permission that they can actually have those copies with them. Perfect. Thank you. Almost done, sir. This one here states that there's no issues within the property that need to be corrected for the loan to fund. Signature and date down at the bottom. Great. Thank you. And this is your truth in lending statement. Shows your 4.375% interest rate, 864.54 is your principal and interest payment, 207.37 is for your taxes and insurance, total monthly payment 1071.91. There's a total of 4 copies here. They all need signature and date on that page there. Great, he's done with that. Thanks, sir. Alright, last one, just need to ask you a couple questions here. You are the only one who has ownership interest within the property, is that correct? Excellent. And married, single, divorced, domestic partners? Single, perfect. And this is your sole property, Are there any seconds on the property? No? Okay. Party to a lawsuit, bankruptcy, judgment, court action within the last 20 years? No? Okay. And is there an HOA community here? There is? Okay, perfect. And you're current on all those fees? Excellent. Any major construction going on within the property that would prevent the sale of the property? Nope. Okay. Print and sign there for me. Excellent. Last one. Signature and date right there, and that simply states if there's any errors with any of the title-related documents, you agree to work with the title company within 30 days to correct any of those errors, if there are any. Excellent. Alrighty, sir, you are all set. That is all I need from you. Hopefully that didn't take up too much of your day. Go ahead and throw this in our little FedEx envelope. And if you're wondering why I don't double check, because as the papers are coming back to me, I am double checking at that time. I'm watching the customer sign, and as they're handing them back to me, I'm verifying again that the signature and date are on all of the documents that need to be signed. Again, I've been doing this for 8 years. Rarely, if any time, do I get something kicked back because I missed a signature. That's how I roll with my notary signings. They're quick, simple. I'm out from 8 or 9 in the morning until 6, 7 o'clock at night, just depending upon time of the month and how many jobs I want to take. If I want to take some time off, by all means I can do it because I have the volume to be able to take that time off. And again, this is my full-time job. I don't mean to sound conceited or anything like that, but I think I do a pretty damn good job at what I do, and I have the clientele as well as the recommendations and reviews from my existing customers who continuously call me back to perform signings as well as notary work for them. So I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. That's my quick and dirty loan signing right there. Yes, there are ones where the customer wants to read every single document and they want to take their sweet time to read every single one. And that's when I bring up that 3-day right to rescind right away. I say, just keep in mind, sir, you do have 3 days to review all these documents. And if you're not happy with anything that you see within these documents, you do have that right to cancel it within those 3 days. So just keep that in mind. You are getting copies of all these documents that you're going to be signing today. And if they continue to take a little bit longer, I'll take a quick look down at the watch and say, you know, I do have an appointment. My next appointment is right after you, within the same town, within about 30 minutes. So if you think it may be a little bit long, I'm going to need to make a phone call to my next appointment and let them know that we're taking a little bit longer here, and I'm going to need to push their appointment back. And generally, that cures everything. So again, my name is Wayne Clemens, notary here in Southern California, Coachella Valley to be a specific. ExclusiveMobileNotary.com is my website. If you got any questions, go to my website, ExclusiveMobileNotary.com. Click on the Our Notaries tab. My email address is there. Feel free to send me an email. I'll do my best to reply back to you as soon as possible. But again, notary work takes precedence. But again, I will see your email the moment it comes through my BlackBerry. And at the end of the day, I'll try and get back to you with any questions or answers you have.